last time. The smoke, the dust slowly settles as you are in, well, the ruins of this cave mine. In front of you, on the ground, still softly steaming out of gashing holes in its shell, lies a giant insectoid creature. The rest of the mine crawlers have completely vanished from the cave, save for the few corpses that are on the ground. Assumedly, the Stomper scared them off. In the corner, the Stomper, still at regular intervals, just thump, slams down onto the flat stone surface underneath its stone hammer, crushing nothing at the moment. The rest of the miners that you saved, the ones that carried the gear, and those that were fighting with you, are still sort of picking through the rubble. Tipped over cards are being righted again. Everyone is just sort of setting back up. And you're free to move.
Oh man, here's some healing real quick. Oh, you don't look good, so.
I guess you're a little bit slow this time. If you could maybe catch up a bit faster next time, I'd appreciate it.
Well, here's 12 healing. I was trying my best, ma'am, but goodness, you and that grappling hook.
I'm sure we could probably get you something.
So
Yeah, perhaps.
Soleil just
Supposedly,
jumps down next to you too and says to Ablin, maybe you shouldn't make it that hard for him.
Look, without trials that we have to overcome, we never really grow and excel further in our abilities. So, just helping him grow.
And to be fair, I think the miners whose lives she spared probably appreciated it a whole lot. Did a pretty good job of it. Saving them, anyway.
Saving who again?
Exactly, ma'am. Shall we be on our way? Wow, this thing is big.
Where it came from, is there still a big hole in the wall, or is it just rubble now?
There's just this mountain of rubble.
Okay.
From the explosion, softly sort of wafting through this mountain of rubble is the distinct smell of smoldering coal.
You know, they seem to have been somewhat aware of what we were maybe going up against down here. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of the miners you saved, Evelyn, the kobold that you rescued off of the outer scaffolding from the minecrawler, he limps towards you. He looks around a little bit nervously for a moment. His eyes fall particularly on one of the armored dwarves standing close, before his eyes snap back to yours as this dwarf is just sort of looking towards the large creature. Thank you, he mutters under his breath before he pushes a crumpled paper into your hand. As soon as he does, he turns around and starts stalking away. And as you look after him, at the top of the stairs, just sort of looking down, you see the foreman, just a little bit squinted eyes looking at you and the miner that passes by.
Goodness. What
Gonna
a
just
job.
pocket the letter for right now. I'll look at it later. It was quite the job. You did a good job initially, slowing some of them down at least.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
The foreman descends the stairs towards you and he looks around and then just sort of with a wide grin claps his hands. Well, that went a lot better than I expected.
Is that so?
Thanks for you, obviously. Didn't think everyone would get out safe, to be honest. You did a marvelous job on that. Every hand that survives is a hand that can work the mines. For the prosperity of all of us, no?
Yes,
Well,
I
we certainly
suppose.
faced.
You know, this whole scenario reminds me greatly of a song.
Oh,
Seeing as we did so well.
pray tell.
Oh, it was one I wrote a while back about the Colas Guild. Have you ever heard it?
I've heard a few songs about the Colas Coalition. Not sure if there's one in particular.
Well, if you don't mind, it's a good time for a celebration.
He looks around and... Sure. Bet the miners could use a little pickup.
Why, naturally. A little something like this. Let's see. That kind of tunes his instrument up. Oh, I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the mine boss said, well, bless my soul. You loaded 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Oh Lord, don't call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company's store. And then I look at the mine boss. And this one, I think you'll like. It's more about us. This verse, anyway. Well, if you see us coming, better step aside. A lot of crawlers didn't, and a lot of them died. We got a one fist of iron and another of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. We killed 16 crawlers, and what do we get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Oh, Mr. Foreman, pay us before we go. We owe our souls to the company's store.
That's awesome.
Marvelous. That's her marvelous one. Hey,
Why, thank you.
give me a persuasion roll.
Do my best. This will have a plus 10 on that. So 24.
Ooh.
Plus 10.
That's a bar for you.
Mm-hmm.
Double proficiency.
Well, of course I won't let you leave without paying you adequately. It's how the coalition does. You won't be
Oh,
leaving
naturally.
in debt here today. Let's see.
As you said, we did a good job, and as a businessman, you understand that paying people for their discretion is always wise as well. Kind of implying that he wasn't entirely forthright with us.
As he reaches behind his back to pull out a heavy sack of gold, he sort of furls his brow a little bit, and you see him just grab another smaller sack. And
Mhm.
he holds with both of his hands, both of them out towards you. Your original pay and little bit on top for your performance.
Oh, why, thank you. I always appreciate tips. I'll take it.
The bags contain a total of 700 gold.
Oh, baby.
The small one is basically 100 gold on top of the 600.
Well, in that case, that one's going straight in my own pocket.
Well,
Not really.
seems like your work, at least for the day, is done. Send my regards to Quartermain.
Do you know each other?
Day's work ahead of us. Not personally, but my boss does.
Oh, very good. And unless anyone else has other comments or questions.
I believe I've been told not to talk at this part, so.
I kind of look at Kara and Leah. See if they had any comments.
Shrug.
I was pretty out of it for most of it, so no comments here.
Well, fair enough. I suppose we should
Get
collect
the gold.
ourselves.
Don't see a problem.
Looks like Dorks might need a hand with that suit up.
She has been salvaging what she can this entire time.
Looks like more like a scrap of metal at this point, but
Well, you know what a chain lift is. One of those fellas will bring you up there. Not sure if you know how to work them. And one of the armored dwarves nods towards you and sort of walks up ahead, waiting by the entrance.
When
I'll
we
initially make my way to a door.
when we go up there, Soleil asks the foreman, "Shall we notice any doctors or something for your men?"
I believe we have that sorted. Someone should be on their way already. Maybe they're already outside standing by.
Okay, good.
After I've gotten a little bit of distance, I do want to pull out that crumpled note and take a quick glance at it.
As you guys leave past the foreman as well, even though he doesn't sort of follow you or move you, he follows you with his eyes for a good bit until you've passed him before he turns back to the work at hand, talking to his previously personal guard, those who carried the gear. And you uncrumple the paper. I put it in your area.
I see that.
It's written hastily and very scraggly in cone on a just sort of stained piece of paper.
It's really bad handwriting. Alright, I'll pocket it away again. Does the machine heart mean anything to me?
Yes. The machine heart is one of the most prominently worshipped gods among the working class of Polythreme. They believe that the city itself has, in terms of its forges, a beating heart that basically gives the city a soul that watches over the city.
Okay.
Sounds weird.
Praise the Messiah. I mean, what?
What?
Hakuna
I don't know what
Matata.
you're talking about.
Say, Dorks, you need a hand with that, or
If you could help lift some heavy stuff, that'd be great.
Sure.
Probably not taking much, because it would be difficult to move.
Anything worth salvaging?
The core. Maybe some smaller mechanisms within that's difficult to remake. Ugh. Ting tang, ting tang.
Most of the machine, even though broken apart, remains in larger chunks that still hold relatively well together.
Well, I'm sure that they could get some sort of a cart or trolley or something. We could drag it back up so you wouldn't have to lose the resources.
That'd be nice.
I'll look
Okay,
around.
how much of this could I fit in the bag of holding?
How many pounds of iron ore do you have in that bag?
103.
103.
103.
Take good notes.
How much can it hold? It can hold 500 pounds. Not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet.
I'm just considering how much is that metal involved. I think you could probably fit the whole thing inside there in pieces.
Have to break it up a bit.
It's not huge. It's pretty much the size of a medium human in metal.
Okay.
So, it being already in pieces, you probably wouldn't have any problem fitting it inside the bag.
Oh, okay, that's easy then. I'm just shoving it in the bag. Scoop.
Well then, I guess we shouldn't dally anymore.
Why, right?
Okay, so I'm assuming you just exit the mines.
Yes.
Schwab.
Put yourself off the map, yeah.
Nailed it.
Make sure no one's left behind before I utterly destroy the whole thing.
How could you?
Such power.
Oh my god. Ah! A black hole.
We're glad we got
You
out
find
there.
yourself in utter blackness.
Ah! God, my hand hurts. My hand hurts.
Exiting through the gate, you see the armor dwarf standing by the chain lift. It's still in that awkward position that you first arrived in. And as all of you step inside, he nods. He doesn't even step inside with you. He merely pulls a lever, and the chain lift goes rattling up the long, dark mine shaft.
This is the
As you
chain
reach-
lift.
Yes.
This is the chain lift that like came down with an incredibly scary
Yes.
speed. Okay.
Does it go up just as
Going
fast?
up, it's not nearly as fast.
Aw.
And as it reaches the top, there's also not that sudden stop that made you almost fall over. As it reaches the top, it starts slowing down considerably. And in the last few seconds, it just very, very slowly reaches the very top of the shaft. You walk along the corridor that you first came towards the chain lift to, and the door at the end is not locked. You exit the store, finally leaving the musty mine back to the surface. The air, though still polluted and uncomfortably warm, is a lot better than it was below. And you're glad to escape the dark and enclosed space, though it's not a lot brighter here. By now you'd have expected the stream of workers to have lessened, but the crowd in front of the gate is still immense. Oops, that's the wrong one, my bad.
They're cheering for us. Yay!
But then you realize that they are not pouring through the gates anymore. They are staring back towards where you originally came from, listening in through the mumble of the crowds. You can hear that there's sort of a tumult going on beyond. You hear voices shouting and you hear a pain scream.
Lovely. Sounds like this is going to delay us getting back. Oh, by the way, Brett, this is a shopping list. I'd need some supplies later on.
Why, of course, mate. You give me a... Oh,
Mm-hmm. I'm passing you the note. Yeah.
don't...
My hands immediately go to the. To
I
more
don't know
weapons.
what a machine... Oh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do try to keep up a bit.
Yes, ma'am. How you think we should get around this, crowd?
Looking around, does it look like there's a easier path around everybody? Or is it like only cutting through the crowd?
Well, in front of you is sort of almost a little bit like a plaza, but it very quickly turns into long, narrow pathways through houses.
Is that
We
crowd
could
kind of
try and-
facing us, or rather facing the direction where the screams came
They're
from?
facing away from you towards
Okay.
the shouting.
So is the intent just to head right back on to the guild?
You receive a message in your head. Did you want me to do something about this note, or where did it come from?
I'll reply back with, I'm assuming you sent message.
Yeah.
The kobold gave it to me as we were leaving.
Do you want me to inform the others via the same,
That should be
message?
fine. I don't really care too much about it myself, but maybe someone else might.
Talk about it later on, then, once we get back.
Can we hear what's being shouted?
Not over this distance. There's too many people in the way. A lot of them talking.
Hmm.
But it looks like we have to go through the crowd to like get back to the guild.
Yeah, you could try either of the ways. They're sort of beyond the area where you're at. There's a way leading off to the left and one off to the right. You could try just sort of taking one of those and pushing through the crowds there.
Yeah, I guess.
Is all of your curiosities content enough to head back to the guild, or is there any pressing need to deal with whatever mess is up ahead?
Sula is just going and trying to get through the mass to see what's going on.
Oh, alright.
I think we should probably all stick together.
Alright, let's go ahead. Sure, someone's having some sort of existential crisis.
I'll just follow Slay.
I love her so much.
You push through the wall of people, a challenge in its own right. And as you break free of the masses, you see a group of thugs surrounding a worker crouched on the ground. Here. The mass of people basically surrounds you in this area. It sort of... There's some people on the other. You see, if you just burly lizard folk. What looks like a Goliath and a tiefling, and a well-armored woman just beating down on a worker. They're shouting something at her, but through the crowd, you still can't quite hear.
I try to get close.
How close?
Wait, they're just beating her.
Yeah.
Close enough so I can see what's going on. Oh no, I'm tiny.
As you start stepping
also
closer,
going.
the Goliath immediately starts sort of squaring up, walking towards you.
What's going on?
Don't seem like it's any of your business.
I think I can decide that for myself.
Private business.
Not being very private about it. I try to like
He
look.
shoots a sly grin at you, and you can see his hands just sort of lay on the handle of his hand axe.
I'll put my hand on my sword and try to like look past him to see
There's
what's
trouble to be had
going
when
on.
sticking noses when where they don't belong. Even be it in the middle of the street. We and our friend over there are just having a little chat. Few debts to be settled.
Can I like look past him?
It is horrible if they think that's a chat.
Oh dear.
What do you try to see past him?
Just what? Are they just beating her up or are they saying something?
Well, they seem to be talking to her, and it's not like they're all just stomping down on her. Every now and then they raise her back up, they talk to her, and then another blow follows.
Can I hear what they're saying?
Give me
Probably
a
not
perception
because
check.
I'm like terrible at person. Yay! 6.
Yeah, no, the tumult is just, it's too loud. You can barely hear the guy in front of you talk to you.
How many other people are around us right now?
A massive crowd.
Well, how
Everything
small
in the gray
I am.
area is basically just people.
Hmm.
None of them seem to want to get involved, to be honest.
If, moving forward a little bit, does there look like there's any sort of insignia or marking on any of these quote-unquote thugs to denote if they're with someone?
None, from the looks of it.
Have we been able to hear the conversation that Kara was over having?
Like, yelling over the crowd.
Right.
Give me a perception roll. The DC is 10. It's not a high DC.
By the way, in the meantime, if it's possible, Soleil just climbed up this house on the roof.
Did Soleil?
If it's possible, that's why I...
Did Soleil? Okay, well,
That-
give me an acrobatics check real quick.
Okay, yeah, that's
Soleil
why I
is
said if
Soleil.
it's possible, I would like to do that. Okay.
That was a 12 for the perception.
Natural 1 for acrobatics.
Nice.
Oh baby.
Did you actually just roll in that one?
Yes.
What
I wouldn't tell you that otherwise, beggar.
What's your modifier?
+7, so it's an 8.
When first you try to climb up, you sort of jump from a large barrel and try to hang on to one of the beams that are holding up this roof, and it just caves. You land on a particularly disgruntled mine worker below you, who just sort of gets up and just Oh, what the fuck? Where'd you even come from?
And I just point my pointy finger up to the sky. And try again.
He, very confused, he just looks at you and just walks away. Yeah, give me another acrobat. I just want to see if you failed again.
Yeah, I want to see that too. Oh, that's good this time. 25.
Give me a perception roll.
Mm-hmm. Perception. 11.
This time you swing up onto the roof. Basically the same method as before, except this time you look a little harder to find one of the beams that probably wouldn't immediately break. You find one, and with basically a jump you swing off of the beam and make your way onto the roof. The roof itself is not the most stable to stand on, but as you get up there you see someone else on a roof.
Mm-hmm.
Crouching on the shadow side of this roof. But you can see the glint of a bow and arrow in his hands. He's crouched, sort of just watching what's happening in the square. And he doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
Some of the roof thingies, do they look like I can break off a piece of them?
A tile? Sure.
Yeah. No, not a whole tile, just a piece of a tile, basically.
There are probably a few tiles there that are already broken.
Okay, I would like to get like a small pebble, basically, and
Okay.
throw it at Rat.
Give me an attack roll to see if you,
That rat?
if you do
Yes.
that accurately.
I want to get his his attention. Natural 20.
You just feel this small pebble hit you in the head, and for a second you have this image in your head of a crowd just throwing stones at someone, and you turn around to the crowd and you see all of them just standing there before you realize from the trajectory it should have come from the roof somewhere.
I'll look up at the roof. I don't know. I mean, what can I see from this angle? Can
I'm
I see him up there?
assuming to throw down the rock directly and Red, you probably would have moved somewhat to the edge of it.
Yeah, so he can see me.
Yeah, you can see basically just the head, an ear, and eyes looking down at you.
And I want to look at him, point over to the other roof, and use my two hands to make a motion as if I'm drawing a bow.
Just receive a message. That hurt. You can reply to this message.
I'm sorry, but
Getting
there's
ready
a
charades.
there's an archer on the other roof. Just wanted to warn you.
All right.
Tell the others.
Yeah, I turned to everybody else.
And I'll move
Hey,
back
there's
in.
an archer somewhere over on that other roof.
Are we gonna do something about this? Is that
I don't know. I suppose I ought to get up there and do what Kara wants to do.
I don't have much I can do, but I can throw a boat.
That
Throw a
sounds
boat.
awesome.
Let's just throw a boat at the things.
Start walking up toward Kara.
They're giving you trouble here. The armed and armored woman is now standing next to you as well, Kara. Sort of walking past the Goliath. Her hands are two on her weapons.
Can I, like, bonus action hide, considering I'm short and this place is apparently full of people?
Do you go somewhere to hide?
Do I need to? If it's
Just-
as crowded
yes.
as you say?
If you stand in the open, you can't
Crowds?
just crouch and be invisible.
The crowds
Just
are
grin.
back here.
You are way past the crowd.
Oh, okay. I won't hide then. I'll just,
You could try and run under one of the stalls or something. I mean,
I don't know how. Wait for. Okay, I'm just gonna go here and throw a fucking boat.
That's the negotiation. Thing.
They're right in front of me. I don't know if I need to roll to throw the boat or.
5e wooden boat damage.
It's 12 feet long.
What?
Thrown boat damage. Someone actually did ask that question.
All I can do is throw stuff at this point. Like, I don't got anything else I can do. I have one spell slot left.
There's always.
Both of them make a dexterity save. One fails, the other succeeds.
Oh no!
You see... Fucking... You see Doris rip off a patch of her robe. And she just throws it. And right in front of her, mid-air, it just suddenly poofs into a... How long is it? 10 foot
12 feet.
long?
12.
12 feet long wooden dinghy.
What the literal?
Give me 3d6, please.
Leave them alone!
You can see the woman just get knocked over, falling prone to the ground.
Wait, you didn't expect a boat flying at her?
That's 2.
And
Okay, 8.
as the boat slams into the Goliath, it just sort of remains in the
3.
air.
11
As you
damage.
can see the Goliath just heave it over his head and throw it back over his shoulders, where it slams
can
onto
I-
the ground.
Can I throw more things in quick succession?
Give me an initiative roll, everyone.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Yes, that's good. Let's say 21.
Fuck up my initiative every single time.
Yeah.
17.
I'm just gonna say I'm super thrown off by someone throwing a boat.
Why would
not
you be?
Only you. That's the boat right here.
I rolled a 6 too, but I think your index is probably higher.
+1.
Yeah, it's a fucking
Beggar,
boat.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do I control the mastiffs that I throw?
What?
I believe they are friendly towards you.
What about the horse?
Same story.
Okay.
What about what horse? Oh man.
Okay. Well, it looks like, yeah, you surprised them. Surprise!
Nice.
You go first again.
Is it
Oh,
an action or a bonus to throw a patch?
It's
say? It might
your
say.
free object interaction.
Oh, sweet,
Since
dude.
you're not really making... Actually, do you have to speak a command word to turn it into the thing?
I think it just
Does it say
turns
as an
into
action? Is the
it.
question.
Let's say.
Let's see.
I can use an
roll
action to
both.
detach one of the patches.
Okay, so it is your action, yeah.
Okay.
Christ.
My main question, I don't understand the mastiffs a lot.
Let's quickly Google that then.
Like as part of the action to summon them, can I command them to do something?
It's entirely
like-
up to... Oh, okay, so it's entirely up to me to decide.
Oh.
throw them and command them to bite as you throw them.
Apparently, it's
So I
not my
guess, I mean-
choice.
You have 2 patches on there, so it seems like you haven't thrown one before, so I guess you don't know. Until you've tried.
I thought it was one patch summons too.
I think that's also correct, yes. But I
In
think you
that
also have
case-
2 patches.
Like in total left over? No, I have more. Okay, how well can I throw these?
What are you trying to do with them?
Like, if I throw... if I throw a horse at these two...
Yes?
What is going on?
I can throw a horse at those two?
You could throw it in the air.
Okay, I don't have much else to do. I feel bad for the horse, but I don't have any options. So I'm gonna throw a horse at those two.
I think you always have other options than
I only have one spell slot.
Give me an attack roll for your throw, please.
Okay. What do I add to it? Oh, that was a bad roll.
Your strength.
Yikes. Oh, my strength. Okay, well that's not very good. 8. It's an 8.
Yeah, let me just quickly see. I don't think I have a horse anywhere.
Why ever not, Beggar?
You mean you don't have a 12-foot boat to drop out of the sky?
That sounds like badly
I
prepared
do
to
have a
me.
stand-in for the Mastiffs, which I was gonna use for a different campaign, but fuck it. Okay. You throw this patch. You don't quite manage to get the distance up that you wanted.
Okay.
So, sort of skittering along the ground, there's just suddenly a horse.
Does it at least trip them up?
Immediately having been tossed between these two people, both of which are raising their weapons immediately, just bucks and runs away, and on the way out, running, just trying to get out, it kicks one of them
Ah!
in the side with its hoofs.
Yes. Okay.
What did you roll on the 3d6 earlier, by the way?
11. Oh wait, can I add Fury of the Small to that?
No, I'm gonna go with no for that one.
No!
That's an attack from you, not from a random boat.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
that's your turn, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I can't do it.
And then please, Evelyn.
Seeing how well this is going, I'm going to take a little, open like a little kind of compartment on one of my like wrist gauntlet things, and these little like mechanical, almost spider-like things are just gonna kind of crawl all over my leather armor. And gonna give myself 3 hit points as they 4 hit points as they start trying to mend me back together.
Oh my god.
And as my action, I'm going to use my gauntlet to try and get up to here. Would that work? Onto that roof over here?
Yes.
Sorry, not my
Your grapple.
whatever it is. Grappling hook. That's the word I'm looking for. Grappling hook. To get up here. And that is my turn.
Okay, Rhett.
I have a sinking feeling about the state of these negotiations. I don't have anything, so I guess vicious mockery this lady. Ha! Boat, you didn't see that coming. Wisdom save.
Are you feeling a little hoarse?
Exactly.
Psychic
Thank you.
damage right there. Oh my gosh.
6.
DC is 15, so 4 psychic and disadvantage on her next attack. That's a she.
She stares at you with wild eyes. They almost seem to change shape. But you're not quite sure.
Good talk.
Do you stand in front of the crowd, or do you actually just push into them?
I mean, okay, to be fair, I wanted to try to be able to see this room. So, I guess here-ish.
Okay.
In the front of the crowd so that I can see.
Yeah, you sort of stand in kind of the first line, just sort of a little bit behind people.
Yep.
And with that, I believe it's Kara's turn. I'm guessing the 6.3 is the highest.
Oh no, the
Was
one's
it? Okay, so
higher.
other way around. So Soleil is first.
Okay. From where I am, can I see the other archer right now?
Kind of. He's probably behind half cover for you, as he's still crouched beyond the apex of this roof.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have 3 6s? That's
It
not
looks
ominous.
like, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. That's oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. That's
Whoa.
good rolls.
Perfectly fine.
It is spooky.
Yeah, then
season.
I'm gonna shoot at the Goliath, I guess. Instead, twice. With the longbow.
Wow.
That's not good and terrible. That's a 12 and a 17 to hit.
Quickly check. That hits. Both of them.
Both of them. Cool. So that is 6 plus 13, which makes it 19 damage.
Okay.
Sorry, 17. I miscalculated.
Yeah, you hear an audible yelp as your arrows strike home.
And then I try to move a little bit back to here, that I basically also have like half cover or something from everyone who looks like they might have ranged attacks.
Leah.
Alright. Already feeling a lot better being out of the mines. Well... Oh, Lord. Alright. Sorry, excuse me, going through. You got her in the way, so... Sorry about this. And tap the staff on the ground as I would like to get up a Spirit Guardians as wisps and bolts of magic missiles just like trail in a 15-foot circle around me, and just like flying over my allies, just like dodging out of the way of them, but definitely seem to be aiming for the lot of them, excluding the worker. And that will be my turn.
Do I have to roll anything, or is that?
And it is at the start of their turn. They apologies. Start of their turn. They must make a Wisdom saving throw. DC is 14 or take 3d8 radiant damage, and their movement speed is halved. And it's around me in a 15-foot circle.
Hey. That is your turn, then it's Kara.
They haven't really attacked yet, right?
Nope.
Oh,
They do definitely seem poised to strike.
yeah. Yeah, I'll just draw my sword and cast Booming Blade to attack this guy in front of me. For a 23.
That hits.
Hicks. 11 plus 5, 16 slashing damage.
And the booming blade automatically applies, I assume?
Well, if he moves, he takes an additional 2d8.
Yeah, okay. So he's sheathed in this booming energy.
Yes.
Then it is their turn. The archer immediately stands up. His bow and arrow immediately swivel over towards Soleil. But just as he takes aim, he notices Ablin and instead shoots at her.
Rude.
That's a 15.
That is my armor class.
He deals 8 piercing damage. The Goliath retaliates towards Kara, attacking twice.
Could he also make
With
a
his
wisdom
hand
save?
axe. Yes, he can. That was wisdom, correct? He
Yes,
saves.
wisdom. No problem.
Let's make the other ones quickly. It is the lizard folk. He fails. And she fails too.
Okay, so the ones that failed take 8, and the ones that passed will take 4 radiant damage.
Does a 13 hit you, Kara?
Nope.
He starts wailing on you with his hand axe, but, well, all of these strikes connect, but only with your plate.
Crying at him.
The woman gets up and you can hear her snarling at you. It sounds unnatural. First she starts striking at you. Twice. That is a 11 and a 16 to hit.
Nope.
That was at Leah.
Oh,
The 16 just misses as it clangs off my shield.
And then the others. Double check. You see one of them reach behind his back, pulling out a net. That she throws at Leah. Can you give me a dex save?
That is no problem.
I believe in the Dex gods.
One of us does. That is a 16.
You manage to barely evade the net as it clatters onto the ground next to you. But just as it does, from behind the Goliath, the other lizard folk throws a dagger at you. That is a 17 to hit.
That just hits.
Would you please give me a con save?
No problem.
Oh no.
That
DC
is
is 14.
I got 14.
You feel the sting as this dagger slashes at your arm. You take 3 slashing damage, and you feel the sting of poison. But you manage to suppress it. And with a quick wipe, you try to get as much of the poison away from your arm as possible.
Alright. Well, that's not very nice.
And with that, it is Dorks' turn again.
How much damage, sorry?
That was 3 slashing.
3 slashing.
Looking at their pictures. Is that the only person wearing metal?
Visibly,
Ism. Okay. I will. Okay, I will cast. Oh, because it's 20-foot cube. Can I get them all in a 20-foot cube?
I don't think so.
I mean, they're all in a 20-foot line.
Not the Goliath.
Well, if I cast it like...
Diagonally, maybe. I don't know.
Wouldn't hit everyone. I mean,
Hit
very
yourself.
far.
Probably
yeah.
actually hit the.
It's very far. I can place it where I want.
Yeah, you can hit yourself. Get them all.
I guess it would work.
There it is. Oh, nope, not that. Yeah, because, like, it's acting weird. That's a 20-foot line. So I could have them be, like, the outside edge of the cube.
I mean, if you just include Leah in it, then for sure. I'm not sure about making it diagonal, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's every creature. I can't choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Instead, I'm gonna do something else then.
I mean, you know, you could mark Leah.
Oh. Fireball!
Do I see that poison dagger?
You see a dagger, you do not know that it's poison.
Alright, well, I see the dagger. I'm gonna cast Catapult on it and shoot at, I guess... Let's do the big guy. Catapult on the big guy.
Okay.
The dagger. It's a deck save. He's probably good at... Ah!
He failed.
He fails. So that is 3d8. Are these d8s? Which of these are? It's these. That is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. Fury the Small! 20 damage. That's my battle scratch. Is the type of damage important?
I know it's force damage. It's a terrifying battle cry. You see this guy crash into the stall behind him.
It's
Couple
bludgeoning
of
damage.
Fish just sort of slide off of the stall as it collapses under the guy's weight and slide onto the ground. He groans. He's definitely still alive, but he is currently prone.
Haha. I end my
Adrian.
turn.
Okay. So I'm going to, well, as my turn starts, those poor little mechanical spiders are trying furiously to fix that arrow wound. And I'm going to lazily lift up my hands and be like, oh, no, sorry, just hanging out up here. And as I do, I'm going to move down my goggles, which kind of light up with like this arcane nature. And as they start spinning a bit, and I'm casting Charm Person on the archer over here. It's a DC 13. Wisdom save.
So close.
Dang it.
So close to that one, he saves.
Never
He shakes his
mind.
head. Your effect just sort of dispelling.
Fine then. Then I will. Bonus action, bonus action, bonus action. That is all I can do with my action, so instead I will just kind of try and move back down this way. How high is this like little stall to the roof? What's below the roof?
I would say about 8 feet.
I'm just gonna try and duck down here to make it super difficult, at least at this angle. And as my bonus action, I'll
You could
have
go
my...
prone.
Yeah. I'll go prone on the roof right there.
Which means you're currently within 3/4 cover to him, and
Okay.
you are also automatically disadvantaged to hit. To get hit.
Yes. And I'm going to use my bonus action to just send my familiar kind of off this way with his flying little propeller off his head. Guess movement's third. Sure. I don't know, it's like 60. So he's just gonna kind of fly and then duck down into like these stalls back under here. And that is my turn.
Red.
Keep up. Gotta keep up. All right. How do I climb this thing? How do I climb this thing to get onto the roof?
Well, there's sort of a scaffold that holds these stalls. Doesn't seem very sturdy. Not quite sure if it would hold your weight, but you can try.
Well, there's a person right beside me. Hey, give me a hand. Just like grab the person and yank them on their shoulder and then
What?
start climbing.
Hold
Thanks, I
on.
appreciate it.
Give me a persuasion roll. Real quick, please.
Mm.
13.
Oh.
Okay, then give me an athletics roll at disadvantage.
Oh, good.
He just you very quickly just climb on his shoulder, using his shoulder sort of as a foothold, but he's squirming, and
Yeah, so that's a solid 5.
you manage to sort of hold on to the side of the scaffold right there, but you're having trouble just pulling yourself up any further as he just sort of slips out under you and just goes
Hey.
back to the crowd. What the fuck, man?
Ma'am, can you help me?
I'll take care of it in a minute.
All right. I mean, can I reach enough to like hit her with a touch spell?
Probably not.
Oof.
It's like full 5 feet apart still.
Yeah, fair.
Soleil.
Mm-hmm. So the Goliath guy is prone.
Yeah.
So I don't want to shoot with disadvantage, so I'm gonna shoot at the hooded figure instead that stands in front of Leah. I'm gonna move forward a little bit first, because otherwise I won't see her.
Give me a perception roll.
Ah, okay. 19.
You can't make out any details, but the way she is holding her weapons, she's just weirdly hunched over at the moment.
Just weirdly hunched over. That's all I
Yeah.
get from that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make her painfully weirdly hunched over. That's a 24 and an 18 to hit.
The 24 hits. The 18 does not.
Hmm. That is just 5 damage then.
You see the first arrow connect, but as your second is about to, she swipes it out of the air. It hits the ground, clattering, split in two.
And I go a little bit back again. That's my turn.
Okay. Leo.
Okay. Alright. I will spin the staff around and gathering up some of the bolts that are flying around the area, as I'd like to cast Shillelagh as a bonus action. And then, in the same motion, swing the staff down towards the a guy that is having a bad day on the ground there, as I will slam down a green flame blade to his chest.
My god.
Whoa.
So that is a 16 to hit,
That hits.
and that will be a big ol' 9 bludgeoning to that guy, or no, sorry, 5 bludgeoning and 4 fire, and then the fire also bounces over towards the armored woman, as she will take a 11 fire damage as the flames from the green flame bounce over.
You see the flames leap onto her. But just as quickly as they set her cloaks aflame, they seem to spot her out. Seems to not have been as effective on her.
Right.
The guy you hit first, however, he just he groans as he slowly starts getting back up, and then you just hit him across the face again with another blow, and he just slides down with the fish basically onto the ground again. You just hear him mumble under his breath. Okay. Oh.
Hey, we're just having a conversation, like you weren't to her.
Kara.
He's still prone, right?
Yeah.
Quit.
Well, I guess I'm gonna cast Booming Blade again and hit him. While he's on the ground. That's a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Poor bear.
He will take. plus 14 slashing. And he's boomed again.
He pushes onto the ground, sort of just like trying to push himself off the ground, and just as he does, you just hack down at him, and he just slams face first into the ground again. And this time, he doesn't move.
He doesn't seem like much of a talker.
Poor
More of a
guy.
talker than a fighter.
Do you catapult him into them?
He's too heavy, sadly.
There.
Oh.
So sad.
I'm also out of spell slots, so I'm just gonna go back to throwing shit.
So
I
like,
got one more good thing I can throw.
you
Mhm.
see the archer move all the way up to the edge, point his arrow at Evelyn, and then you hear this the loudest rant, just ear-shatteringly right next to you.
Ah!
Ah, my ears.
Did you buy a recorder? Oh, hey, it's card.
As almost simultaneously, quite a few people start breaking out of the crowd. People you recognize as the Compass Guard. And you hear shouted very loudly over the crowd. Alright, all of you, weapons down!
I'm gonna duck on the roof and hope they don't see me.
I'm
I
going
never
to
pulled a
stop
weapon out.
awkwardly clutching this skull.
Doesn't look. It looks. Doesn't look like it really is.
By the way, you are out of initiative at this point.
I'd like
I'm gonna
to
stay prone on the roof for a second.
The
I'd like- kneel down and give the guy I knocked out a 1 hit point by holding of hands.
you hear him just he doesn't even try to stand up at the moment. He just puts his head sideways to actually be able to breathe, and he just lies there.
Yeah.
The rest of the thugs all lay down their weapons and are holding their hands up. But what do you do?
I'll see hands up.
She's my sword.
Ret,
I unwrap my leg from the pole of this thing. And step out.
please give me a perception roll.
Not a great roll, but an 18, okay. So 19.
The man who blew the whistle, the man who shouted, what looks to be, at least, the commanding officer, is standing next to a man that definitely does not look to be part of the Compass Guard. He is leaning over, whispering something in his ear, something that you can't make out.
I mean, I'll start talking to this guard if no one else is doing stuff.
As you,
Oh. Thank goodness you're here.
as soon as you start talking to him, he holds his hand up in your direction.
I stopped talking to him.
And he turns back towards the other guard that are still encircling the group of you. And he shouts again. Take them to the tower. Those 6, let them go. The guardsmen that were moving towards the group of you immediately just pass you by. and towards the thugs you were fighting, stripping them of their weapons and shackling them. The guardsman next to you, Ren, musters you for a good moment before he scoffs and turns away. The other guards behind him following and bringing with them their new prisoners. The guy who was talking to the guard, however, remains. And he looks at you with a wide smile.
I smiled back.
Out of the room.
Are they taking the woman too?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Make sure I didn't grab any of you.
Mhm.
And one of the guards runs up to the horse and tries to just wrangle it back to
You forgot
anywhere,
a thug.
really.
Mhm.
It doesn't. It bucks and it starts running off into one of the alleyways, and it's just gone.
The archer
Sails
stuff.
away in the boat.
Sort of defeatedly letting his shoulders hang, the guards just rejoins the rest of them, and they move off.
You forgot a thug.
No.
I like how he came down the roof from his own will and is like, okay, I'm gonna go with you guys.
Yeah, this is how things are done around here.
I assume we have you to thank for that intervention.
Why, of course. Greetings. The name's Yarek. Colas Coalition. Let me just say, absolutely wonderful. Stepping in, so absolutely heroic. I can clearly see that you stand for the common people, be they miners, poor, downtrodden. Everything we at the Colas Coalition value highly.
I'm just gonna stop you right there. That may be true, but I think it's just more my friend likes dropping boats on people.
Well, of course, but it seems like the right people. Am I wrong?
I look at Dork.
in
Yeah,
the future,
sure.
should some great evil threaten the good people of Polythreme, or perhaps just another group of thugs, if you were called upon, would you be willing to answer?
How many more boats do you have, Dorks?
Not without pay, of course. An honest wage for honest work is, of course, the Coalition's lifeblood.
Well, I'm just kind of looking back at everybody else here, like, what?
I'm still hanging out on my roof because I don't want to have to be part of this conversation.
There.
He turns to the ground. Well, give it up, everyone. Heroes of the people. What do you call yourselves?
What? Can I insight check this man? What is this man's
Of course
agenda?
you can.
Okay.
Kissing some major ass.
That's a 16.
What's in front of you is a salesman. He's giving you the hard sell, essentially. It kind of gives you that feel as a player, you know this, like an army recruiter, sort of,
Yep, I do
but
know
not
that.
quite as committed.
Mhm.
I'd like to step forwards.
Oh, thank goodness.
You just work at Quartermain's, man.
He
Oh, well, this
as
is
Kara
the
steps forward,
paladin.
he claps. And look at that, a knight in even shining armor. How more iconic could it get?
Yes.
Can we talk about this somewhere to the side, rather than? You don't need to sell us to the crowd, thanks.
No, of course, of course. Humble as always.
Holy shit.
All right then. We can take you back to the guild, perhaps. Have some nice sitting rooms there.
Well, busy man. Not that much time in my hands, unfortunately. But you can always come to the Chaos Coalition office. The name's Karlstein. You can find me there.
Karlstein? Is that correct?
Karlstein.
Karlstein. Got it. I just look at Kara. I'm gonna follow her lead.
The crowd, as the spectacle is long over, starts dispersing and heading back to work or returning from work to their homes.
You have work for us?
Well, of course. There's always work to be done in the Chaos Coalition. Not only in the mines, of course.
What kind of work?
Well, we protect the workers that are part of the coalition. It's a great unit. It's almost like a family. We take care of each other, and of course, where problems arise, we take care of these problems.
What do you need outsiders for then?
Well, this is a family with open arms, and there's always more stuff that can be done. You can clearly see, he points towards the middle of the square, that not everything in Polythreme is perfect.
Sure. Well, I'm sure you know, or sure you're aware that we're already part of a guild.
Well, yes. I'm not asking you to join the Chaos Coalition, but, you know, as citizens and upstanding people of Polythreme, one can help one another, surely.
Beggar, can I use my grappling hook to lower myself to the ground over this way? Okay.
Can I inside check him to see if he's like got some shady motives?
Give me an insight check.
Say it's 12.
Well, I mean, clearly, this guy is at least somewhat slimy in the way he's talking. Clearly, sort of, he gives you that politician feel. And the Chaos Coalition isn't exactly known to be 100% upstanding citizens. But they are a workers' union, so it's possible that he's just offering you honest work, to be frank.
Well, don't see why not if the gold's right.
Perhaps we should run it by the guildmaster first.
Of course, no commitments. Not right now, anyways. You can come by the Coalition's office any day.
Well, thank you for the invitation, then.
Have a wonderful day, and don't get caught up in any trouble. Turns around and starts walking away. Basically, almost as soon as he enters the crowd, he is just gone.
Beggar, out of curiosity, back over here in this area where the woman originally was, is there any sign of anything on the ground? Anything that might have been dropped, or any sign of maybe what had caused the initial fight?
Give me a perception roll.
If I start digging around and using my magnifying glass, would it be investigation instead?
If you search that closely,
Yes.
yes. But
Okay.
there's also quite a few people now filling this plaza.
Well, I ignore people
sort of
as per
walking
normal,
by
so
and
if they get in my way, I'll give them a shove as much as little that will do. But that would be 19.
you, aside from a few just droplets of blood in the dusty ground, you don't see much except for a tuft of what looks like hair. And as you do so, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh dear. 15?
DC 50. Yes, okay. You, just as you sort of go and reach out towards what little you found, someone just steps past. You manage to pull back your hand just in time, and he looks down as you sort of give a slight audible yelp, and he says, "Oh, sorry, didn't see
Well,
you
you
down
most
there."
definitely should be. You should be paying attention to where you're going.
But I'm leaving. I'm sorry.
You should. Go ahead. Get out of my space.
She just walks by.
I swear, people. I'll at least try and pocket the tuft of hair or fur
Okay.
to have a look at later.
I turn around to look back up at the roof. Oh, of course. Well, that was weird. I suppose I should go find someone. Someone want to give me a hand with this roof?
Sure.
Thanks. Is it easy enough with help?
With Kara helping you up, you have no trouble.
I can
climbing.
boost you up with my incredible strength.
You're incredible. Thank you. We can talk more about that weird gentleman on the way back. Where? Goodness. Well, lost her again.
Give me a perception roll.
What are my rolls? So 20.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really see her anywhere in the crowd except there's children crouched between the. Wait, hold up, that's not a child.
Child?
They're sort of crouched on the ground. You see Aben, not playing, just she's digging something out of the ground or something.
Yeah, I mean, to be expected. Oof.
Hardly the most strange behavior.
Man is. Oh, never mind.
Alright, should we get back to the guild then?
Yes, right.
Which
Some
we could have
odd-
just. This entirely pointless
I
event should have just been
pick it up with
completely
dogs.
rerouted.
I have
and
no
we could have
idea
gone
where
in a
that boat came
direction.
from. You know, you're entirely right.
This is what happens when we travel with other people. Nothing.
Well,
ever
you know,
goes
if we had
fine.
been at the sea, that boat could have been helpful.
The
But
boat is still lying there, by the way. Just so everyone's aware.
I
There's
know.
a boat.
we,
Oh man.
you know, I'm just not gonna ask questions.
Ooh.
Okay, so you all return.
I wanna slide down the roof, fall into this thing, use it as a trampoline, and land down here.
Give me a 1d20. Just a 1d20, no modifications.
Easy 8.
Okay, well, I mean, you had this image in your mind,
That I did.
but reality is often disappointing. As you slide down and sort of let yourself fall into this sunroof, you hear a crack, and one pillar of it, post of it, just gives way, and you slide down the rest. But well, you definitely broke it.
I stand up as if nothing happened and just put the dirt from my clothes. Shall we go then?
Yes, please. Let's hurry on.
Yes.
Already walking.
Which way is the guild?
This way.